So let's start. Today I will be doing electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. This is extremely important. This one is very important. Don't go without doing this to board exam. It is so important. This one is so important. So what is it actually? Let's see. So imagine we have I'll give this example very soon. This is an infinite plane sheet whose surface charge density is plus sigma. That means throughout there is charge, positive charge, both sides, and negligible thickness. Thickness is completely negligible. Okay, thickness is completely negligible. We are interested in finding an electric field at a certain point P from this sheet of charge, at a point P from the sheet of charge. So how to do it? You can find either here or you can find there. It's the same thing only. So then how do you do it? And secondly, where do you see this kind of charge distribution? Where is it available? Such a plain sheet of charge, where can I get it? Is it actually fictional, or this thing is present in reality? I will answer that question also. Now our first concern is that we need to find what is the electric field at P at a distance r from the plane sheet of charge. Okay, this thickness is completely negligible. Imagine it is very thin and negligible. However, this distance is going up to infinity. This is also going up to infinity. So it's a very big. It's going up to infinity. This is going up to infinity. This is plus infinity. This is minus infinity. So it's a very big one, and we are considering only one particular section of that infinite sheet of charge. Okay, and we need to find what is the electric field at P. So then I already taught you how to write, how to build up your sentence and all, so you can follow like that. So now what you're going to do is that by saying that, let us consider I'm writing like this way, you can write your own. Let us consider an infinite sheet of charge. Infinite, you see, I have all the assumptions. I'm writing all the assumptions and the variables which I have, or the constant which I take, that you have to explain it in the paragraph. So let us consider infinite sheet of charge of what I am taking, sigma of surface charge density sigma. Don't memorize all this. So when you are going to prepare this, what you are going to do, only you are going to practice the derivations, what I am doing. Rest you have to do, all these things you have to build your own. So remember that. Don't try to memorize this, then gone, then physics is gone. And now we need to find, what do you need to do? We need to find electric field. Is it electric field or electric field intensity? We need to know electric field intensity, right? Electric field intensity, where? Electric field intensity at a distance r from the sheet. So say at P. Okay. So if you want to do, what are you going to do? How will you do it? So in order to do so, what are you going to do? We are going to form a Gaussian surface, as we are doing this in the help of with a Gaussian surface. So to do this, we will define a Gaussian surface. What will be the best way to do the Gaussian surface in this case? You can see electric field lines are coming like this. The idea of the Gaussian surface is to accommodate or to take as much of the electric field lines as you can. Got it? As much as you can. So you can see they are going like this. So the idea is to take as much as I can of this electric field. So the best shape will be a cylinder. So we have drawn a cylinder here. This cylinder is our Gaussian surface. Similarly, here also I can extend it this side. Here is our Gaussian surface, because there is symmetrically two opposite points. So this is P, this is P dash. They are symmetrically opposite to each other. So if we find one, the other is automatically derived. Automatically we will get the value at the other point. Okay. Now let's see. So now if I look into this, so how do you find it? So at a distance r. In order to do so, next time onward I'm going to reduce, I'm going to stop writing all this. As I'm giving you the video lectures, you can make the notes from there. Okay, I'm going to, because I have already taught you how to frame your sentences, how to write your answers. So I will be concentrating on the main focus, concentrating on the main word. That is, I'm going to draw the pictures, I'm going to explain the derivations, different things. You can listen from my work and then you can write your own answers. Okay. So in order to do so, because you see same thing everywhere, it will always, the pattern will be same. By now you should have got what is the pattern. So in order to do so, we define a Gaussian surface. We define a Gaussian surface in the form of a cylinder. Okay. Now this Gaussian surface has three surfaces. This is the surface 1, this lateral surface is surface 2, and this is surface 3. Now what we can do here, we can define small surface here, as we have done all along. So this is our small surface area. This surface area, any surface area is normal, gives the direction of the surface. So this is the direction of the surface area, ds vector. Also look, electric field is also in the same direction, E vector. So you may be thinking, why is it like this? Because if you remember, for a plus charge, electric field lines is always radially out. So similarly here they are coming straight. So this electric field line and ds vector are in the same direction. Similarly on the other side, you can see this is the direction of the electric field, and this is the surface area. I can draw a surface here. This gives me the surface area ds vector. You can imagine that. What about the lateral surface? For lateral surface, take any small region, any. It's up to you where to choose. Let me choose it here. So this is the small region, this surface. So this surface is what? This is the direction of this surface. Normal to the surface, give me the direction of this surface at that point. So this is the surface area ds vector, and this is E vector. Look at this. In this case they are 90, and in this case they are 0. In case of surface 2 and surface 1, it is 0. However, in case of lateral surface, it is 1. Okay. So in order to do so, we define a Gaussian surface in the form of cylinder. The total flux through the surface, through the Gaussian surface, will be what? Phi will be equal to closed integral. This is just this symbol is meant for that you are integrating on a closed loop. So surface 1 EDS plus closed integral surface 2 EDS plus closed integral surface 3 EDS. As simple as that. So then closed integral for the first surface. What is the angle? Electric EDS 0 degree. EDS cos of 0 1 plus for the second surface it is EDS cos 90 plus for this third surface it is EDS cos 0 degree again. So you can see this becomes 0, this becomes EDS only, and this becomes EDS only. That means I get here 2 closed integral of E vector dot ds vector. Right? Now let's say, let A equal to the surface area of the cap. Okay, surface area of the cylinder caps. Then I can write phi equal to 2. If I integrate it, this should be always give me, if I add all the ds added, it will land up to the total area. So that is nothing but 2EA. Finish. So this is our phi. So phi is 2EA. Why that 2? If you notice, I have taken this side, this one also. I have taken surface 1 also. That's why it is coming 2. If you take only 1, it will come as only EA, and that is correct. Not necessarily you have to take both the surface 1 and 2. You could have taken only this one, and this one also you could have taken. That will also do. You could have taken this and taken this. Then you will get this only EA. That is also fine. No problem in that. So then 2EA. Therefore, so this is flux. Now using Gauss law, we know what phi equals to Q by epsilon naught. Right? That is the net charge by that. Now charge, is the charge present? We haven't decided to describe any charge there. So what are you going to do here? 2EA is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Or we can write electric field is equals to Q by A into 1 by 2 epsilon naught. What is Q by A? Q by A is a sigma. So sigma by 2 epsilon naught. That's it. This is the electric field on the either side, because taking two surfaces in consideration. And if it is only sigma by epsilon naught, it is only one side. Now that concept I will create. It's extremely important. This derivation is very important. Why so important? I will show you why it is very important. Because in the next chapter we are going to do the capacitors. Now I was saying, where do you see? This thing is not present in the book, which I am going to tell you now. This is from my concept I am explaining you. You see, where do you see this kind of charge distributions? No one will tell you. Where do you see this? If you see, I'll give you an example of this. Everyone has a television, TV at home. So if you remember this, if you see, this is your TV. When you go quite close to the TV, you will see your hairs will get stand up very close. So once you turn off the TV, then you will see your hand hairs, or those you start feeling like some goosebumps, no? That your skin hairs are getting aligned to something. So what is happening? When the TV was functioning at that time, the screen was working. There was some charging activity was going on. Now when the power is turned off, what happened? A charge takes place. It may be positive or it may be negative, whatever. This charge exists for a very few seconds, very few seconds, and then it will disperse and it will get vanished in the surrounding. It will get neutralized. But in between that, if you come close to your television, you will see your skin here, or if you take any other material, something like that, they will get aligned, and you can hear that cracking noises. Why? Because these are the electric field lines. So can you relate this situation now? Because the skin here is getting aligned with the direction of the electric field lines. That's why they are getting stand up. Where else do you see? So this thing, first example of this situation is in, very common example is television. The second situation, where can you find it? In the next chapter we are going to learn capacitors. So what are capacitors? Capacitors is, imagine we have two spheres. We know that if one of them is positively charged, it will induce negatively charged here also. Right? Instead of having a sphere, I can also have a metal plate. Shape doesn't matter, no? So here it is the charge that is only present on the surface. So I have two plates here. So the first plate will be positively charged and the second plate will be what? Negatively charged, because it will induce negative charge on it. So isn't this the same situation as we have seen in this case? Correct? So this is another example. So we see this situation in capacitor. Now I'm going to do I'm going to do, if you have finished, if you have taken it, let me clean it now. I will show you something. Now let us take a situation, or let us take an application of this. Electric field between around two charge plane sheet. Okay, so what do I mean is that, imagine, so I'm showing a 3D picture here. This is the 3D picture. This is one plate, this is another plate, simple metal plate which has been positively charged somehow. So this is sigma 1, this is sigma 2. I am drawing the direct mathematical diagram here. So here is our mathematical diagram, just two straight lines, nothing else. If you look from the front view, it would be like this, two simple straight lines. This is plus 1 sigma, this is plus 2 sigma. So let's say for now, so there are three regions, 1, 2, 3. We're going to study what is the electric field in these three regions, and you will see for the next part of all the chapters we will be using this. So this one is very, very important. So now imagine that sigma 1 and sigma 2, both of them being positive. If both of being, let's say case 1, sigma 1 and sigma 2 both being positive, so if both of them being positive, tell me what will be the electric field line of sigma 1? Sigma 1 will be going like this way, and sigma 2's direction should be this side, although they will repel whatever they do. Mathematically they should be like this. Whatever they do, will see that maths will answer, so they will go like this. In this region also, the electric field due to first plate will be this side, and for this side also it would be this side. Blue lines and the red lines, correct? Now let me name this plate 1, this is plate 2. So for when sigma 1 and sigma 2 both being positive, that means sigma 1 and sigma 2 is equal to plus sigma, equal and opposite. But let me do this first, let me establish the equation first. So in this region, at 1, at space 1, so you can see the electric field due to sigma 1 and electric field due to sigma 2 both are in the same direction. That means they should add up. However, the distance of this point, distance of any random point from plate 2 is very far compared to plate 1. So that means if this is my E1 and this is E2, definitely E1 is greater than E2. E1 is greater than E2. Then can I write? What can I write? Just now we have found out, no, what are the relation? So I can write E1, net electric field E will be E1 plus E2. But we have derived the relation due to an infinitely charged plate. So this one would be sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. I hope you understand how did I get this one. Now both of them being equal, so what should I get? Sigma 1 and sigma 2 both of them being equal. So that means in this case I will get this as, so this is my important equation. That means in this region electric field will be sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. I think this side is also identical only, so this side will also be E equals to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. What about the inside? At 2, I will come back to this. I'll come back to this just a while. At 2, so let me not write this thing now. sigma 1 and sigma 2 are equal, forget that. This is at 1 and at 2, first we will do it. So this is at 1. So at 2. So at 2, so what I'm doing? So at that region, so now look closely, electric field is going this side and that side. So that means E in this case would be E1. Let's say E1, somehow E1 is greater. E1 minus E2. Means we're not taking at the center, I'm taking at this point. Or I'm taking at this point. So that means at that time it would be what? E1 minus E2 by 2 epsilon naught. So in the space between them it is E equals to E1 minus E2. Sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by epsilon naught. Don't write this. So I'm going to get here sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. That's fine. Very good. Now let us establish some conditions here. So in this case it is, so in this case it would be E equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. That's fine. Now let us come to the cases. If I come to the first case, case 1, when sigma 1 is equals to sigma 2, very good, they are equal, and they are same, is equal to plus sigma, then what will happen? That is the possibilities, no? So when that possibilities happen, what will happen at 1? What will happen to this case? So that means at 1 and at 2, E will be equals to how much? 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. That gives me sigma by epsilon naught. When the electric field, when both of them being plus sigma, I get electric field here is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Fine. Here also it is going to be sigma by epsilon naught. What about at the center? What will happen at the center then? So at the center what will happen? Case 2. If our understanding, if our physics is right, this math should also be right. That means sigma 1 is equal to sigma 2, no doubt, but they are opposite. Means sigma 1 is plus sigma and sigma 2 is minus sigma. Then what will happen? Then using the formula I see, E is 0. Sigma 1 minus sigma 2, sigma is 0. Yeah, correct. If both of them is plus, the electric field lines will move away from each other. They will never intersect. Isn't this what you have learned in the properties of electric field lines? They will never come towards each other. They will go away. So there will be no electric field in this region. I'm just showing with two free rays, but none of them will come. Even if they are charged, the electric field between the gap is shielded. Correct? Okay, so if this is the situation, imagine this is a box. If you imagine this is a box and you're standing inside the box, you are standing. I'm talking about you are standing. Suddenly, lightning strike on this box. And the lightning strike on this box get charged. Will you get shock? Will you get shock? Please someone give me answer. Will you get shock in this? Let's say 4000 volt strike on that container. Or you are driving a car and you went and hit a pole, electric pole. The electric pole wire fall on the car. Will you get struck by the lightning? Will you feel the electricity? What is your answer? Naki?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
You think you will get yes. What else? Nivedita?
No.
You will get shock.
No.
Why? Why? Why you will not get? The answer is no. Then why did I teach you this? Electric field here is 0, na? Why is it 0? There are so many ways to answer why electric field is 0 inside. Because you can see, Here electric field will be what? Sigma by epsilon naught. Here electric field would be sigma by epsilon naught. What is electric field here? Isn't it 0? So as long as you are inside the car, believe me, you are safe. Nothing will happen. Imagine you are driving a car on a very stormy night and you went and hit an electric pole. That pole, that electric wire break and falls on your car. Your first thing will be not, even if the windshield breaks, even if the tire bursts, your first thing will be to never ever touch the, you can touch inside but don't ever come out of the car. Sit there and wait for help, because as soon as you are going to open the door and keep your foot down, you are finished, because you are giving inside, you are getting into the electric field of sigma by epsilon naught. Are you getting my point? This is called Faraday's cage. What do you call it? Faraday's cage. I'll show you one picture of Faraday's cage. Look, can you see? Can you see? That is a Tesla coil. We will be seeing this in another chapter. You see, they're inside the Faraday's cage. Look at this one. Is anything happening? This is physics. As long as you're inside, no one can do anything to you. Look, this person who is so much sure with the physics that he has taken so much of risk with his life. You can see. Any question? Was that surprising?
Yes.
Was it surprising? And here is the maths. The maths is in front of you. I can explain this in so many ways. Another way will be, if I draw a Gaussian surface in the form of a cube, there is no charge enclosed. Hence the electric field inside is 0. That is the most simplest way. But this is the difficult way of doing it. Okay? So please don't forget this. So that means electric field in this case is 0. Let us talk about the case 3 now. In case 3, let us see the case 3. So for case 3, what will I see? If I take the two plates, this is plus sigma and this is minus sigma. That means sigma 1 is equal to plus sigma and sigma 2 equals to minus sigma. Oh, sorry, I did one mistake here. This is also plus sigma. What did I do here? Oh yeah, I did one same thing only. I was doing case 2, no? What I was doing case 1? Oh, here I was doing case 1. No, this is wrong. This is within that only. No, that is the case 2. This is continuation of that only. This is case 2. Sorry. I have so much to follow now. That means electric field here is 0. E equals to 0 here, because I have taken plus sigma. If they are minus sigma also, or if this is minus sigma also, same thing. Electric field will be 0 only. But what about this case? They are equal and opposite. In that case, here E will be equals to how much? In this case, we know its relation is sigma 1 plus sigma 2. So that means sigma minus sigma by 2 epsilon naught. That gives me 0. So here electric field is 0. Here electric field is 0. And in this case, electric field will be maximum. That is sigma by epsilon naught. And this is the relation what we are going to use in capacitors and in all the other subsequent chapters wherever necessary. Clear? So this is how two charged parallel plates behave based on their charges when electric field, the electric field is the value of the electric field based on how they are charged. Okay? Okay, understand? Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us come to electric field due to okay, this topic I will do later. Let us do one question now before going. So let's say I give you a cube. This is a cube of side A. It is at a distance of, let's say it is at a distance of S only from the origin. The electric field in this region is given as E equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per Coulomb. Now if I ask you to find what is the net flux through the cube, the question is, what is the net flux phi net through the cube? Number 2, this is the first one. Number 2, does it encloses any charge? Is there any net charge enclosed? So let's see. So how will you find it? Take A equal to maybe 1 centimeter. We will find. So what is the flux through the cube, and does it enclose any net charge? What do you think? Will the flux enclose does it enclose any flux? Will it enclose any flux? Tell me before, have you done this kind of numerical before? This type of problem earlier? Anyone has any experience in this? Anyone has any kind of experience of this kind of numerical? No? Okay. So you see, so this is the direction of electric field. You need to know flux. Or what is flux? Phi is nothing but E into ds, E into A. Okay. So how to do it? We will draw the normals. So for this cube, this face, the normal is this side. For this face, the normal is this side. For this face, the normal is like this. And for that, the bottom one, the normal is this side. For the one this face, it is this way. And for the other one, the one which is at the back, is normal will be along this side. But where is the electric field? Electric field is going from left to right. That is, if I give this vector, it is simply I cap, nothing else. So that means, in this case, if this is the electric field line, this is 90. So this surface, there is no flux enclosed by the top surface. There is no flux enclosed by the bottom surface as well. Similarly, there is no flux encloses by the front surface. There is no flux encloses by the back surface as well. There is only flux enclosed by the two surfaces. What are they? The left surface and the right surface. Am I right? Do you agree to this? Do you agree to this concept? Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
because they are parallel, normals are parallel to the electric field, so that's why. Therefore, phi left, I am doing the solution now. Phi left will be what? Phi left will be E into A. What is A? What is A? E is 2 into 10 to the power 5, and A is how much? A will be the surface area of the face of the cube. So surface area will be how much then? 1 into 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 2. That gives me how much? 10 to the power minus 4. So 5 minus 4 is how much? 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 to 10 to the power 1 plus 1, correct? Newton per coulomb meter square. So this is 2 10 to the power, that is 20 Newton per coulomb meter square. Fine. What about for the phi r? What about the phi right? Phi right is same way. So it would be again E into A. But wait a minute. Here did I do right? I think one thing I am missing here. I am missing cos 180 degree. Why? Because the normal is this side and the electric field is this side. So angle between them is what? 180. This is the A vector and this is the electric field vector. They are 180 degree apart. Correct? But in this case what? In case of right, you can see this is the electric field, this is the area vector. No, sorry, this is for that case, this is for this case they are along the same direction. Doesn't matter they have to be on the same line to line. No, they are on the same direction is same. That means this is EA cos of 0. So electric field would be 2 into 10 to the power 5. Area will be how much? Again 10 to the power minus 4. Correct? Into cos 0 is 1. So that means this gives me 20 Newton per coulomb meter square. This is phi right. So the net flux will be what? It's a scalar quantity. So phi net will be how much? This one is minus. Right? Cos 180 will be minus. So this is minus sign here. So that means phi r plus phi l, which is nothing but plus 20 minus 20, that gives me 0. So phi net is 0. That means the amount of flux entering the cube is the amount of flux leaving. As phi net is equals to 0 means the cube do not encloses any charge. Do not encloses any charge. Simple. Clear? Now this is possible only when? If the electric field is uniform. They are uniformly and it is not varying with space. So the electric field is uniform. Equally spaced electric field lines. Now let me, same question, let us do one trick here. Same question. May I clean these portions? I hope you have all taken or whatever. So now I'm cleaning this. I'm going to take the same question, but this time I'm going to do something. I'm going to make some little change. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Meantime, if you have any doubt, please ask me. So now in the second part, so that was the first question. Now for the second question, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the electric field non-uniform. I'll make the electric field depends on space. It varies with space. Then what will happen? And the second question, let me do like this. Second part of the question, if E is now non-uniform and given as E equal to alpha x I cap, where alpha equal to, let's say it would be 100 Newton per coulomb Newton per coulomb per meter. How I am getting this? I am using this relation here. Alpha will be equal to E by X. So this is Newton per coulomb and this is meter, so per meter. So alpha is this. Then same questions. Then number 1, what is phi net? And number 2, what is the charge enclosed? What is the charge enclosed now? Let's see. So now you see E is directly proportional to X. Means with space electric field varies. Okay? So then let us see what is the case now. So now this is no use. This is no constant anymore. This is no constant anymore. I do not need to do anything with it. So leave that. So now what to do? So similarly, going the same way, so phi left will be what? So phi left will be now E into A cos of 180. Very good. So E is how much now? Alpha into X. Alpha is how much? 100 into X is how much? How far is the left space? It is at a distance A. That means 1 centimeter. So 1 into 10 to the power minus 2. You see X. Area will be how much now? Area is again 10 to the power minus 4 into minus 1. That cos 180 is minus 1. So I get here how much? 100, and this is 4 minus 2, 6. 6 and 2 goes, that means 10 to the power minus 4 only. 10 to the power minus 4 minus Newton per coulomb meter square. This is phi L. What about phi right now? So phi right will be what? Similarly, E into A cos of 0. Now E would be again 100. Area will be how much now? Area would be, but wait a minute, not 100 into, how far is the right side? It is a two-way distance. That means 1 plus 1, 2 centimeters. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 2, because this total distance is 2 centimeters. So 2 into 10 to the minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 4. So that gives me how much? This one and this one get cancelled. I'm left with 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton per coulomb meter square. Fine. Therefore phi net would be what? A change in difference in flux would be how much? It would be 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 minus 10 to the power minus 4. So I can take 10 to the power minus 4 common out. I get here 2 minus 1. That gives me how much? 1. That is 10 to the power minus 4 Newton per coulomb meter square. This is phi. Using Gauss law, I can write phi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This phi is how much now? Implies 10 to the power minus 4 is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So Q must be equal to 10 to the power minus 4 into epsilon naught, which you can write this 10 to the power minus 4 into 8.8 into 10 to the power minus 12. Can you solve from here? So the answer would be how much? 456. 8.8 into 10 to the power minus 16 coulomb. This is the charge enclosed. Whatever, don't look at the data, but this is the maths. This is the logic. So when the electric field becomes non-uniform, you can randomly draw any kind of shape and you're going to see there is an electric field charge enclosed. Okay? Thank you then. Got it? Take one homework please, just 1 minute I'm telling you. Take one homework. Do the same question, but now instead of do the second one, that is electric field is non-uniform. You can choose any value of E. Choose any value of E, but it should be in alpha x square you take. And then you see, that means it is increasing square. And take this shape to be a cylinder. And then find the net flux enclosed and also find the charge enclosed. So that means your picture should be something like this. It's a cylinder So you have only two surfaces here, this one and this one. Take this surface length up to your choice, how much you want to take. You can take this as 10 cm, 20 cm, 50 cm, or this is also your distance, how much you, this x distance, this a distance, this b distance, I leave this for you to do it. You find it on your own. If you have understood it, you could easily do it. Got my point? Understand? So this is your homework. Design a question in which you are going to find the phi net and q net, but this time using an electric field which varies on x square, and the shape, Gaussian surface shape, would be not a cube but a cylinder. Got it? So this is your homework for today. If you have any doubt, you can always ask me. Thank you.